everybody. Welcome to another episode of For You From Me. We are back with another guest episode today. Another guest episode at Hoff Studios where I was yapping with my guests for 30 minutes before we recorded. But those are always the best episodes, so I'm excited to chat with you guys today. I have Aisha here, who wears many hats. She's half New York, half LA, which we were just talking about. And she has a PR agency called Grow the Social, and she also has a podcast that we will be recording later on today. So
Yes.
Aisha, tell us a little bit about you, where you're from, what you do, all that good stuff.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm honored to be here. Thank you. You're like Miss OG podcast queen.
Definitely an OG from a long time ago.
And I love when two podcasters get together because the yapping is so real.
It is.
Okay, so loaded question. I'll try to make it short and sweet because I feel like I get this question a lot. So I am a Canadian, born and raised in Toronto, moved to LA at 22 to go build a dream. Like a lot of people do. They want to live in LA. They want to live a life that, especially growing up in Canada, like in the snow and cold weather, like you can only like dream and aspire to live in California. So long story short, journey is not that easy because as a Canadian, you have to get a visa. Everyone who is not from the US will feel my pain on this. It is not an easy process, but definitely rewarding and 100% worthwhile to go through it. So I always knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur, and the best visa, long story short, on that journey was the E2 visa, starting my own company and really scaling that. And with that visa, it's basically building a business on steroids. At 22, I knew I wanted to live in the States. My parents and I are so close. They're my best friends. They were like, if you are going to do this, we will support you. Like, support in the sense of like push you to do it, cheer you on, but like you are gonna make this shift on your own. Like you're gonna do it properly, you're gonna follow every rule to get this visa, and if you get it, like amazing. So the E2 visa is literally like building a business on steroids. Essentially, you create a 5-year business plan, but then you put skin in the game. So you open up an LLC, you invest in the LLC, and then you get it up to working order, which means like you, in the business plan, you get clients. It's like you have an agency as well. You shoot your shot, you get your clients, you add them all to this like book that you, at the end of the day, submit to the US consulate, and you show how much job employment you're gonna create. You show why your business is needed, the gap in the market that like your agency is providing in Los Angeles, because that's where you're applying for the visa. And you basically do all of this in order to get your business approved by the US consulate. And then if you get it, it's like, okay, you got the 5-year visa, now go, like implement this and you can go.
That's a lot.
It's a lot, and I always give that little snapshot because at 22, like 21 being like, I want to do this, then going through it at 22 and then submitting that in that year, like you have no choice but to put skin in the game, but to figure it out, and but to shoot your shot. And throughout that journey of like going through that element of like creating that business plan, getting clients, putting myself out there in Los Angeles so I could show, wow, these companies will hire me, and if I got the visa, I'm gonna also create this much job opportunity because we're gonna have these clients. You have no choice but to like work your ass off and put yourself out there. And that's also when the podcast started.
Right. So wait, just really quick, how was your transition from Canada to LA? Because that is kind of crazy, especially personality wise. I think the people in Canada are like so
nice and naive.
Yeah. So like, how was that? And especially you weren't just going to LA, you were going LA to make something of yourself. So as much as you want to be nice and have clients, you also have to stand your ground a lot. So how was that transition?
I will always say that time of my life when I was 22, I swear the relationship with myself grew to another level. And that's why I love everything you put out, and I listen to all your episodes, and I love the messages you preach because the relationship with yourself is everything. And of course, when you're navigating adversities, life challenges, it's actually such a beautiful time because you can it's the times of your life that will make you double down onto these practices like journaling, meditation, strengthening the belief in yourself, the power of affirmations, the power of prayer and a faith practice, like all of these rituals and things that we hear, you actually, I found in my own journey, really implemented them because I had to build that relationship with myself when I had no one in LA.
Yeah.
And also through navigating through the BS of like, oh, I'm this 22-year-old girl who's super like open to everything. You cannot be like that. Especially I have like overprotective parents. Like I had a really good judge of character always, and I think the only way to strengthen that is to trust your intuition with people. Because I will say, like, yeah, being Canadian, I always joke with people. I'm like, I think it's a flex that helped me build my business because people trusted me,
right?
Just because I was Canadian. But I will say, like, I think I've toughened up so much. People are still like to me, oh, you're so nice. And to me, I'm like, wow, I'm not. Back then I was so nice. Right. I feel like I've really toughened up over the years. But
and how did you toughen up? Like, was there situations where you were like, oh, I have to toughen up?
Over the years, definitely, if you don't have boundaries, if you don't create the way that you want people to treat you, everyone will abuse that. So I think having your own business does that naturally. When you're working with certain clients and when you are becoming a business owner or hiring a team, working with so many different types of people, I do think those traits and abilities develop. But definitely early on, even just through navigating, like putting myself out there, not everyone has your best interest at heart. And I think the biggest thing for me that it always comes down to is having like daily solitude with myself every single day. Because if you just check in with yourself, you can feel it in your body. Yeah. Like whenever I'm in New York, for example, and I'm here like for 2 weeks maybe, or even if it's a week, I'm moving so quickly here because I'm trying to fit it all in. And whenever I find myself not making clear decisions, whether it's with work, with social plans, with anything, I'm like, okay, girl, you're not creating that space for yourself. Because when you are connected with yourself, you know. Like, you talk about this a lot in your episodes, like, with men and dating, it's like, you know. But sometimes we just, like, lie to ourselves.
Yeah. Sometimes you get home to at the end of the day and you're like, what did I even do today? Like, I just went through the motions of everything I had to do, and I didn't have a moment to just, like, be where my feet are. And I feel like also because you were taking such a big change and taking it by yourself at such a young age, like, those are the years that it's just, I feel like that's something that you should be so grateful you got to experience. And, like, I feel like a lot of women can't experience that or are too afraid to or aren't allowed to or their environment stops them. You said you had strict parents. So what was your background like growing up, and how absolutely insane was it that you were moving to LA to, like, follow your dreams?
Yeah, my parents were super... You know, I always say, like, when parents are strict or, like, very protective, it's just from a place of love.
Of course.
Like, everyone's parents are always doing the best they can, and they only want what's best for us. So, like, when they are, like, wanting you to maybe play small, it's just because they love you and they want to keep you safe. But I will say, navigating that journey, I think they trusted me more than ever. And when you are so sure in yourself, and I'm also an Aries, so I'm like so. Are
you an only child?
No, I have an older sister who is the absolute opposite of me. And now my sister works for me full time, which is amazing. And we actually really work together very well. Because I don't know, in our space, it's like, it's not always like, you don't need people who also want to
that trust that you can
trust. Trust is everything when it comes to a team, especially in our industry. It's like, it's your relationships, but then a lot of people, you don't need people working for you that want to be an Olivia Eve. You need them to want to be your, like, backbone and be the other side, like the operations.
Yeah.
So I definitely think it's so wild how my mom's always like, you guys are exact opposites, but we love you so much equally because you guys both are so different. And everyone should just honor also, like, what feels good for them. Like, for me, I was always that person who was wired in this way that was like, if I'm not outside, like, working outside my comfort zone, I'm not uncomfortable, then I'm not growing.
Of course.
That's just always been me. And then when you start making moves outside your comfort zone, that becomes the new norm. So it just gets easier.
Yeah, I always say your comfort zone will kill you, so I admire you for taking that step. And I just feel like, I mean, LA and New York are, like, the top two places people go to, like, start something new, and you've kind of gotten to the point where you've experienced both. Are you more of an LA girl or a New York?
My God, you know what? I feel like
you
because
look more
I'm
like
from
a
the
New
East
York
Coast,
girl.
And when I'm here, I thrive.
Yeah,
I like
you look
just,
more like a
I
New
make
Yorker.
friends like this, like LA, even just I'm very insane on habit stacking, productivity, organization.
Same.
How can I live my most abundant day every single day? Like, that is me and my vibe. So when I'm in New York, it matches my speed and my energy. Do you spend much time in LA, or have you?
I'm not an LA girl.
Well, have you
actually can't
experienced
stand
it?
LA. I've been to LA. I actually hate LA. I've been
Yeah,
to
I feel
LA
that.
once, but not for like work. Literally just like for like a wedding. But I was there for like 2 weeks.
Okay, 2 weeks.
Hated it more than anything.
Why?
I don't know how to explain it. It's like LA and New York is both two groups of people that let you do your thing and they don't judge you. But for some reason, I'm only comfortable in New York. I was never comfortable in LA. I mean, I was only there for 2 weeks, but everything about it, I hated the air, I hated the people, I hated everything. Like, truthfully. And then I went to San Diego for, like, a vacation 1 week, and I was like, oh, like, the food was good, but I was like, this environment just wasn't for me. Every time I was in LA, I felt anxious about my environment.
Wow.
I don't know why. I just feel like...
But see, self-awareness. You just know. You, like, knew.
And I'm definitely more of, like, a Jersey girl than I'm even a New York girl. But I don't know what it is about LA. And I know people from LA, and I'm just like, I don't feel like sometimes they're real all the time. Like, do you ever meet people in LA and you're like, is this a real human being?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah,
I feel
that's
like
how I
sometimes
feel.
it's fantasy land as well.
I genuinely, like, some people will come here from LA, and the way they'll speak, I'm like, you don't live a real life. Like, there's no way you're real.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I feel with LA. And my LA listeners are probably like, and I'm sure there's a great LA community out there. Because even like some of the Almost 30 girls, like she was telling me, and I was like, yeah, I'm sure there is a great community, but I think it's very hard to find a good friendship group or like relationship in LA.
What I tell people about LA, for anyone listening who wants to move to LA gets better the longer you're there, because it takes so much longer to make the right friends and find your community. In New York, I walk outside and I kind of like sometimes, like even this morning, I'm like grabbing a matcha, and then I make friends everywhere I go, and sometimes it's to a fault, like when I'm like actually like needing to like get a matcha and bees. But like that's just New York and how it is, and I love it.
That's how I could walk down the street in Jersey and make 10 new friends.
Exactly.
And I like sometimes I don't want to, and I don't have to do that either. Like Jersey and New York are both a good split.
And you're so close because you can just come into the city when you want that fix.
I have the best of both. It's actually the best.
I also think like just with that note of like how much you can do in a day, you can literally move mountains in New York, like actually, because you can be so many places. In LA, the only thing that I really notice that I don't like at all is this how long it takes to get from place to place.
Yeah.
And even in that time, like even if you're like, oh, I'm fine driving, no, like you could be going to a date and then it's on the west side and you live in West Hollywood and it takes an hour or more, and it's not even just like the time or the Uber or whatever. It's just like you're in the moment. Like in New York, I finish one thing and I'm going to the next, and I'm riding the energy of one thing. Nothing takes super long.
I agree. Do you think it's hard to be still in New York? Like even with like your mental health and like your like I saw you meditated this morning on your Instagram story, but is that harder to do? In New York?
I'm like in LA, I'm like a 15-step morning routine and meditating for so long, and I do like my ice rolling. In New York, I'm very much like a lot more hyper. It's harder to create that space. I think because I've been coming to New York so much, I think if I lived in the city, I would have to be like a high-rise apartment, like far removed, because it's just you're very much in the energy. You have to create that like sacred space in your apartment and like or your home and around you here. But then having so many friends from New York, you can correct me if I'm wrong, like when you need that real disconnect, you go away for the weekend to the Hamptons or like Long Island or to get that like true nature. Do
you have that in LA? Like
LA is like that all the time.
Okay.
Like I feel like there's like so much space. There's always there's like hike trails. It's a lot more like wholesome and holistic.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like if you're in the right group in LA, you're good. Did you have like a struggle finding friends in LA? Do you have like a good group right now? Yeah, so I'm one of those people who's friends with everyone. And then being someone who's a community builder, and I was saying I host a lot of industry nights in LA where they're called LA Industry Nights, and we do them once a year. We're actually doing another one though, so this year we'll have two. Amazing. But
they're huge, and I gather about like 200, 250. I can do more, but it's always just been my venue issue. And it's a big community event. So being someone who's the community builder, I feel like I do know everyone, but then on that note of like, oh, if your car would break down, like who would you call? I feel like, yeah, that's been like, it's definitely more difficult. And I think what's difficult about that, and like I think the reason why people don't have that is because it's harder to get together with people. It's so easy to go meet your friend for dinner or drinks like all the time in New York. In LA, it's just you have to be more, you have to plan more, you have to like truly like plan it out. And if your friends live on the other side of town, it sounds a lot like you won't see them as often because it's just like an hour, 2 hours in traffic.
Are you a low maintenance friend or like a high maintenance friend?
Ooh, define what you mean by those two.
So like I have some friends that we can talk once a week, see each other once a month, but no matter what, we're always like, it's good. And then I have friends where if we don't talk for a week, they're like, is something wrong? Did I do
I'm
something?
a low maintenance friend, and I only like low maintenance.
Okay, that's fair. I think that's very, I feel like then if you did have a high maintenance friend, it just wouldn't work.
Yeah, because I'm very much.
I've become more low maintenance. I think that when like I was younger, I was more high maintenance, and I was like, I always wanted to be with my friends 24/7, and then I kind of just want to be alone, and then you kind of like, you get a partner, and you're like, okay, I really want to be with them and myself, and then it's like kind of hard to plan things because everyone's like in different chapters of their life.
Totally. I also think where your personality is and like where you vibe and maybe what city calls you more is depending on the season. Like I think if I was in a serious relationship and wanting to like start another chapter, if the guy was based in LA, like of course I'd probably want to like settle down there. But right now in this exact season I'm in my life, as I'm like starting I have like my business, but I'm starting another brand. I'm like really in my like business, like self-growth, like this era where I'm just like so excited to like say yes to more things. New York hits.
It does. It gives you a whole new drive of motivation too.
You walk, there's like a million coffee shops on the street. You go to one, it's such a different vibe and energy. You go somewhere else. And the other thing about New York that I really love is no one gives a shit.
No one. I was like vlogging all day today, and there was one girl in like Starbucks, and she was like, are you a vlogger? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, I wish I could just like pull out a camera. I was like, you can. I was like, you're literally, trust me, walk down one street, I promise you'll see something weirder.
But see, you were just so nice to her. I love that.
Just do it.
Yeah,
just do it. Yeah, I do think that I think people in New York are nice. Maybe I should ask you.
No, I agree.
Oh, okay. I think so too.
But some people don't agree with me.
Maybe it's
people are so friendly in New York, and the men are so forward here.
Yeah, maybe too forward.
Yeah.
You said you liked the dating life in New York.
I like it way more here.
Is it because they're forward?
I like it because the men are just more like men, like real men.
Where in New York are you finding these men?
I guess they're just like here walking around.
Wait, yeah, where? I don't hear this. I mean, obviously, I'm not dating in New York, but like I'm curious because I've been hearing like bad reviews about dating in New York. Is there a certain type you go for?
Oh my god, I think I'm in the season of being open. Okay. So I'm trying to just say yes to. Obviously, I like have standards and values,
right?
But I do feel like I'm trying not to be like, oh, this person only. But I just find in general, just like hanging out and being around here, maybe what are the girls saying to you?
Men here have a very big ego.
Yeah. I
hear that, like, I mean, a lot of the friends that I talk to go for, like, finance bros here, which
I feel like every guy's a finance bro here.
I agree. I do think mostly New York is finance guys or, like, tech guys or something like that. I feel like that's all I hear that people meet. Like, none of my friends meet, like, a lawyer or a doctor in New York.
Do men here like influencers or no?
I don't know. My boyfriend's not from, like, New York City. He's from the Bronx. So that's, like, in New York, but it's, like, different. And he works in construction. And I, like, actually brought up the influencer thing because I was like, I don't know if this is something that men don't like. But he loves it.
I think they either love it or hate it.
Yeah, maybe they love it, but they don't want to, like, be a part of it. I don't know.
Some of them love it, and it's kind of bad. Like, they love it, and then they want to grow a brand.
But do you think that because you are so empowered in your business, that could come off, like, scary to men?
I definitely think it can, and then I just think they're not the right person for you. Right. Because there are a lot of men who would love that. Right. Because I feel, I don't know about you, but I just feel like women in LA, New York, anywhere, any like, women are so cool. Right. Like, there are so many incredible women. There's so much they can do, yeah. And, like, I always love saying this, but like everyone is an expander for you. Like we were just talking about Sammy Clark before we were filming, like such an expander with what she's built with Form and like what she's done with her brand. I think there's so many badass women I meet, like, and I think a lot of women can look at other women and be like, oh my God, they're so pretty. They have the dream relationship, their business, this. I look at that and I'm like, that's showing you what's possible. That's showing you that can happen for you. And it's so cool. And being in an environment where I feel like in LA and New York, I'm surrounded by powerful, smart, beautiful women. I look at them and then the ones that are in relationships, I'm like, oh, well, look, they're in a beautiful,
you can have it
like
all,
you're an expander for your whole audience because you're with a partner who's so secure, so supportive, and it's so healthy.
Yeah.
So I do think, yes, there's probably a lot of men who get intimidated by that, but then there's also, they're not the right one.
Yeah. I think I saw this thing once and it was like, if God gave me the power to love someone so much, why wouldn't he match it with somebody that can love me that much? So, like, I always put that through my head because I feel like as women, too, we're just naturally loving. We're naturally nurturing and caring. Like, that is just a bone within our body no matter what. And I feel like a lot of the time it's hard to believe that a man can match that and, like, actually provide that for you. But I feel like when you remind yourself, if I can be this way, so can someone else, I feel like that's when you start to heal differently around the way people might be treating you.
I love that. Do you believe that everything finds you in divine timing?
Yes.
Yeah, I believe that too, especially with dating. Sometimes.
Yes, definitely with dating.
Like, I think you've been someone who's been doing the work, and you met your partner at how old? 23?
Not almost a year ago. I met him a year ago. Our 1 year's in July, though.
How old were you?
13, 24. I just turned 25 last week. Oh, I was 23 when I met him, technically.
So you met your partner at 23, and like someone listening might be like 28, 29, I don't know. But I think the biggest thing, it's like everything finds you at divine timing. Maybe you're going to meet your partner at 29 or 31 or whatever it is, because you're meant to go through like these years single for some lessons to learn, or maybe there needs to be some like assholes to come in to teach you some, like, I think it's so much about honoring and like trusting in our path, and it helps so much with navigating dating, like having that awareness.
And when you just release of the fact that you believe in the timing that it's going to happen for you, you just take so much stress off your shoulders.
That's why I've been really chill about it, and sometimes people are like, oh, why are you so chill? I'm like, because everything happens in divine timing. I feel like my 20s for me personally, 22 to 29 was so crazy for me with my business. Like, I didn't prioritize dating. I didn't say yes to dating. I was so calculated with everything. I wouldn't prioritize my own joy. I would put everything before. That was just my own navigation of the 20s.
Right.
And then when I turned 30, like 2 months ago, I was like, holy shit. I don't know, 30 for me did something for me. It was like a new decade. Like, that's an age I was always scared about. Like, you just had the almost 30 girls on the podcast.
Yeah.
I would listen to their podcast and be like, oh my God, when I'm 30. Like,
right.
So since that number just did something for me, and I made a lot of promises to myself of like what I'm gonna say yes to, what I'm not gonna tolerate, and part of that was like really prioritizing me, prioritizing joy. And now that I'm like living this new identity, I'm loving being single. I'm like, it's a whole new experience. I'm like, this is why my partner has not come, because I would have been a completely different person, but everyone's growing at their own rate.
Right. And have you ever had a heartbreak situation?
You know what? No, but I will say it's probably because I've been so closed off.
You've never let yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you feel like...
So maybe in a year, I don't know.
Hopefully not. I hope you don't. I hope you're one and done. Do you feel like... Why do you feel like... This is like the Almost 30 podcast. They were asking all these like deep-rooted questions like I was in therapy. But honestly, I love it. So,
I love that episode.
Yeah,
you guys need to listen to it.
Yeah, guys, go listen. Why do you feel like it's hard for you to open yourself up to people and let that in?
Yeah, and this stems with the whole journey. When I moved to LA, I literally was like, this is my priority. Like before pre-visa, I was like getting that visa. Then after, it was like, oh, now I have to act in these 5 years of like hitting all these things and really crushing it with work and hiring this amount of jobs by the time it's 5 years so I can renew it. And my renewal was last year, which was crazy. And then I got my renewal, and that was a whole crazy journey in itself. But I think I've always been like, oh, when I get there, then I'll do that. When I get there, then I'll do that. But the truth is, we never get there because the there always evolves.
So you were like kind of strategizing your life. Like you were
Always.
going step by step.
And always like so calculated with things.
Okay.
It's always like the business.
See, like I'm pretty type A, but I
Yeah.
feel like I'm not. I feel like I've let go of being calculated because I think that I went through so much life trying to plan, and then when one thing explodes, you're like, oh, it doesn't matter if I calculate anything. Like it's not gonna happen how I want it. So do you feel like you're at that point now where you're kind of
surrender, detaching, trusting.
Right.
Sometimes we make plans. I love that saying, we make plans and God laughs.
Oh yeah.
I swear that is
there,
literally like like everything.
Yeah.
Like right now I am like, oh, when I've like really reprogrammed my brain. I'm like, oh, when bad things are happening in work or your personal life, or like when it rains it pours, they say, I'm like, that means something really great is going to happen. You're going through all this uncertainty, all these adversities, all these challenges, because the biggest blessing is on the other side because you're going to overcome it.
Yeah. I literally, my episode on Friday is coming out with what did I name it? I said sometimes Jesus wrecks you before he saves you, or like sometimes Jesus needs to wreck a life before he saves it. And it's just all about going through a breakdown before you go through a breakthrough. So like when things are crashing down and you're like, what is going on? Like I've just had like weeks where like everything that could go wrong goes wrong. And I'm just like, what is the reason for this? But I feel like it always just comes out. And I know that you're very big on positive thinking and just affirmations and always seeing the bright side of things, which is not easy. I feel like it's easy to do that on your good days and when things are going great, but when things were going, if at any point we're going down with your business or your relationships or friendships, how did you still keep that mentality?
I think it's so important to root down to, you know, your own relationship itself, your affirmations, your power of belief, faith, prayer, everything, because, you know, when shit hits the fan, and it will, that's what you're going to come back to. When you have nothing, what you have your faith, you have your belief, you have the power of all these tools that are available to us at any given moment. And I think it's like a muscle, like strengthening that from day one. Like I've always been huge on journaling and affirmations and rewiring that brain. So when the negative thoughts come, when the adversities strike, and you have this like mental reprogramming, like what you were saying, like you were on the come up of a breakthrough. Like everything happens for you. What is this trying to teach me? It's just this mental rewiring that then becomes your default. So not like, why me, but like, why not me?
Right.
And it's so empowering. Like I think from doing this like for 8-9 years of like being like this, and then also when you take action, when you're starting that business, when you're going through a breakup, when you're putting yourself out there to open yourself up, when you're taking the action, honestly get excited, because then you can start applying these tools. Like life is your teacher.
Yeah.
And then when we approach it from that lens and we create the space to question things in a positive light, it honestly becomes that much more easy to do over time.
Yeah. How did you know that this was the path for you? Like how I feel like people work so hard in something, and then after like a year or 2 years of it not working out, you're like, oh, is this not meant for me? How did you know to keep going in your path? Do you feel like there was something just telling you to?
Yeah, I'm huge on visualizing your life and knowing, you know, what makes you happy, what makes you sad, what are you a yes for, what are you a no for? And it comes down to that piece of self-awareness of like, if this is what you want in life, like say you're listening to this and you want to also have a podcast or build a brand that's become a content creator or start a jewelry brand, like whatever it is, if you are very passionate about something and you know that's when you close your eyes, like where do you see yourself in 5-10 years? Like what's that life you envision? But getting so specific on it, like what are the clothes you're wearing? What time are you waking up at? Who are you waking up next to? Like getting so specific about like what your dream life is, you then can create a life by design and start working backwards to create that. But I will say, like, when you are so sure in who you are and what you want, when it takes a year, when it takes 3 years, when it takes you will keep going. And sometimes the path is different for everyone, right?
Yeah.
Some people can start a brand and then have a viral moment and then continue to have viral moments and grow. And some people, it takes 5 years. But trusting that everything finds you in divine timing. And what I tell myself, especially in the creator space, because you see it all the time. You see those creators who like blow up overnight.
Right.
And then they launch like a YouTube, a podcast, a this, and then that
Yeah.
all grows because their audience is like
I want your opinion on that. We'll get to it.
I'm like, okay, you know what? That hasn't happened for you because you are going through these, you might have a 3-year timeline because all these things that are going to happen in the 3 years are going to prepare you to hold that blessing. And it's almost like building a foundation of bricks versus sand. I always say, like, right now you're building the foundation. So, like, when that platform comes, not if, but when that platform comes, when you have millions of people who, like, will comment on who will view a story and then, like, have thoughts to say, you're going to be the type of person who, like, if you get a negative comment, you're not even going to care.
Right. So as someone who is successful within their own business, and also you have an agency that helps people be successful, for the person listening to this, let's say they've had their platform 2-3 years, whether they have a podcast, a YouTube, TikTok, whatever it is, and they've just seen no engagement, no growth, what would you tell them to do starting tomorrow?
Ooh, they're posting.
They're posting every single day, twice a day on Instagram, TikTok. They're doing like a weekly podcast. Let's just say that.
So there's a couple of ways to answer it. There's like the strategy side. So I'm going to go there first.
Okay.
I'm huge on taking aligned action. So I think with even like looking at myself when I'm like, okay, why aren't I growing where I want to be? So really getting honest of like, is your content you're posting like the best it can be? Like, is it clear? Is the audio perfect? Are the episode formats done? Are you putting the prep work into your episodes? Is it something that you're genuinely so proud of? And are you like, or are you, because there's also like AI. Some people are now like putting their podcasts in AI and it can make like posts for you.
Oh.
But it's like not, it's like kind of cringe. Like I'll use AI a lot now for like dissecting like, like you can put your audio transcription into AI and you can pull out viral moments to help you identify sound bites.
I didn't even know that.
You can pull out like, I do this a lot. I'll like pull out like really notable clips that could be viral hooks.
Right.
But I don't take it verbatim. I use it as a tool. And then I'm like, okay, I'll go to this area. But then AI is so smart. It can then go into like, oh, here are the 10 quotes from your 90-minute podcast that are game-changing, that'll be viral. And then it can be like, do you want me to make this in a carousel swipe for you? It can do all this stuff. But then when it does things like that, it's not like up to quality. So I think there's a lot of half-ass ways to do things. So I think being super honest with yourself on like, is my strategy the best it can be? And really taking aligned action then with everything you're doing. So it comes back to your belief system. I think sometimes in life we block our blessings if we are not ready to receive them. So when it comes to creating a brand and being someone who is like, you know, posting consistently, showing up, is there any part of you that is maybe self-sabotaging on that experience, like on receiving that blessing of the platform? Are you muting yourself in any way? Are you holding yourself back from expressing who you are? Are you doing something from a need of validation to be seen by external? Or do you see yourself fully as you are and then you're posting on this platform and you're gonna grow, but you're not doing it of a place of like, I need the likes, I need the validation, but like, you give yourself that validation and then you're using the platform. It's like a different energy that you're adopting to these actions, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And then what would you say for them just like mentally? Like, are you a vision board girl?
I live and breathe
so kind of give us, how does someone build a vision board? How do they practice their vision board every single day?
Yeah, I'm a huge vision board person and I like to use Pinterest.
Okay, me too.
Because I think Pinterest is, we're always evolving. We're like entrepreneurs who want it all. We're always like adding in new things. So I like Pinterest because there's millions of pins to post from. I refer to my vision board. I make a vision board for everything too. If I'm launching a new brand, if I'm doing a podcast event, I make a vision board for every area because I'm such a visual person. Your mind has to arrive at the destination before you do. And what is the biggest tool is a vision board to help you get familiar with that space and to see it in front of you via this digital board. And then it can really help you like marinate on the beliefs and the feelings of what it will feel like to live in that experience and achieve it. So with a vision board, I'm huge on like, I just make them private on Pinterest. I don't know what you do in yours.
Oh, mine's public, everything.
Everything, love it. And then I have every pillar of my life.
Okay,
From like if I want a certain type of car, if I want a certain health goal, body, I put everything pins on the board. And you can even like theme it. But do it in every single area of your life. And then every single morning, I will, for 15 minutes, when I'm in LA, especially like when I'm in my home routine, 15 minutes every day, being a hyper entrepreneur and having an active brain, this really helps. I will spend 15 minutes first thing in the morning looking at this board, and I'll do it sometimes even pre-bed, and I'll visualize myself in it. Like, I'll get to a really calm and grounded state, and then I'll look at the board and I'll like go through these areas of my life and then feel it in my head. And it's so helpful. It's actually so exciting. But then when you go on with your day, when I do that, I
like
feel
talk to yourself too.
On top of the world. I talk to myself all the time.
Oh, me too.
I'm my own best friend.
24/7. I actually talk to myself, and at one point I thought I like had a disorder.
Sometimes I'm like in New York, like right now especially, I'm like talking to myself. And I'm like, wait, I need to not. I don't even have AirPods in my ear. That like
I get like too comfortable with it where I'm like, wait, I can't look like I'm on the phone.
I usually have AirPods in my ear all the time, so I'm like, oh, people think I'm talking on the phone.
And I'm like such like a talking out loud, like, okay, I'm gonna stop here, then I'm gonna go here. Like, I need to say it out loud. People probably think I'm crazy.
And I'm also like very much like honoring like my self-talk.
Right.
So now I'm like calling myself like love. Or
oh my god,
like,
that is so
But
funny.
lately, like, especially on busy days in New York, I'm like, girl, you need to eat. Like,
remind yourself. Yeah. Oh my god, that is so funny. You say that out loud.
I'm like, yeah. Or I'll say things like, I don't know. I'm just like, but the thing about this is why I love New York. No one cares.
No one cares.
If I was in LA doing this, I'm like, make sure.
I changed from my flip flops to like my little wedges in the street, and I don't think anyone even saw me.
No one cares.
No, not at all.
I love New York for that. I've like the amount of food like that I've had to like scarf so ugly on the street. No one cares.
No.
I love that. In LA, it's like if I'm eating a carb on the street.
I swear, like, oh my god, you have gluten in your mouth. You're like panic.
Here I'm like, I literally walked out, went to a brand event on Friday, and I walked out with half an Apollo bagel, but it was like so not cute.
Yum.
And no one even cared.
Yeah.
I was like,
that's why New York's the best. We touched on this a little bit before, but I want to get your opinion on some things that are like going on right now. I feel like with the podcast industry too.
Love
you have a
this type of
podcast, obviously,
yeah.
Coffee and a Good Vibe, which I'm going to be on later, so I'm going to link that down below for you guys to listen to.
I
We're doing
cannot
a little
wait.
swap here. I'm so excited. But I want to hear your opinion on this because I feel like the podcast industry has done a huge shift in the past year or two. Like, as somebody, I've had a podcast for a little bit over 4 years now. I know you've had yours for a few years now.
So long, like
longer,
6.
yeah. So crazy. I want you to kind of give me your opinion on the influencer world and how influencers are now starting these podcasts and they use their following to an advantage sometimes, and what you kind of think about it. Like, do you think that there's like, I don't know how to put it into words without it being offensive. Do you think there's basically there's people that shouldn't have a podcast that do because of their following, and do you think it's overtaking the industry?
Okay, I think everyone has a podcast now, and everyone wants to start a podcast. And you can probably agree with this, but everyone wants to start one. Everyone wants to have one. It is a lot of work to be a podcaster and actually do it and commit for years. Like, it is not for the people who want to just have another platform. Like, it is so much work that goes into these episodes, not only just with the prep with the interview, booking guests, like filming, recording, the investment. It is so much work. So whenever people are like, oh, I want to start a podcast, I'm like, amazing, love that. And then you can see how long they last, because you have to truly love it.
Right.
My only biggest pet peeve with the podcast, and I'll like say it, is when people start a podcast because they just want another platform to make money off of, and it's like a low-hanging fruit. Like, being in the, like, I used to manage talent, and I get it. Like, managers want to like monetize you from every angle. So it's like, oh, if you have a TikTok, a YouTube, an Instagram, a newsletter, a Substack, a Pinterest, like, everything and let's do a podcast. Like, and then a lot of networks are finding talent. So I think that's where I'm seeing the trend, because I have so many friends that are influencers, and on reality TV, and they go on a season of Love Island or whatever, and then they grow instantly because it's all the rage.
Right.
So I see a lot of this where there's agencies and companies and managers that find these talent who are on reality TV who are so all the rage and giving them these deals. And you guys listening might be like, oh, they're probably like launching it themselves. But then there's the other side of the industry is like there's a management company that's like, we'll pay you a monthly salary and then your talent for our network.
Right.
And it's like a show. So I think the industry is just changing so much, and they're trying to find talent to be these like hosts for these new shows that they're launching. I have no problem with it as long as people are doing it for the right intention, because it's a lot of work to do it. And I think there's only longevity if the influencer, the host, the podcaster, like, does genuinely love it.
Right.
Because it's not a small time investment at all.
It's not. I do feel like with a lot of influencers that have millions of followers and millions of dollars, I don't think it's even that much of an investment for them, because they'll talk, but they have someone doing everything else, like the planning. Like I've watched a lot of interviews where I know that person did not research the person they are interviewing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like you're just doing this because no matter what, if your face is in front of the microphone, you're gonna get views. So I feel like I've been watching so many, and I'm like at a point where like I can barely watch podcasts anymore, because I'm like, I feel like podcasts are only relevant now if the person you have on is like controversial or there's like something going on about them. And I'm like, I just feel like no one on podcasts really talks about like self-growth and self-improvement and like women's success stories anymore, and it's mostly just about like controversy of like what's going on. And I'm like, I hate this.
My hope is that, like, at the end of the day, there's people like you who started it and are continuing to do it from such a genuine place, that like those types of shows will continue to grow and then filter out. Because when people are launching shows for a fad or a trend, like, there's not longevity in that. We see it all the time.
I agree. I feel like it's just the whole industry in general has just made such a shift.
I see this, I don't know how you feel about this, but like my thing that was like that I had to overcome that was bothering me a little bit about the space was like, oh, all the podcasts that are launching that, and I'm friends with a lot of these influencers that have launched and that have taken off. Like, I've had my podcast for so long, and I'm like, oh, they launch a show and in a year they're a top chart. But it's about like what you're saying, like it's a sex podcast, or it's about like guys they hooked up with. And I'm like, I get it. Like that on Instagram, the reels perform well because it's so like people want to hear it. But then I'm talking about like entrepreneurship and mindset.
Right. No, I agree. Do you feel like it's hard for you to put your personality on your platforms?
Oh, this is why I love long form, because I think you have the blessing and the medium to go long form and give your personality, and that's why I'm so passionate about like the live shows, because people can feel that and hear that.
True, yeah.
It's definitely harder with TikTok, Instagram, and like the way the trends are. Like you just have to become a better like brand strategist to like get your personality in smaller bites.
Yeah, I feel like it's a little scary too, but I also have realized, like, at least for me, because I am my brand, the only way to be successful is to show my personality, because there's millions of podcasts out there, so I have to be somewhat different for people to still want to listen to me, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like I've been trying to release my, like, personality a little bit more, but I'm like, sometimes I just say things and I'm like, oh God, like I'm editing and I'm like, oh God, I can't say that.
What do you say?
I'm like, sometimes I just say things that I'm like, this is gonna, and I've gotten... Everyone gets, like, reviews that they don't like or that people are mad about, but I feel like are you somebody that cares what people think or no?
I think we all are, like, human, and I definitely feel like I used to more, and I'm developing that skill of, like, not caring at all. But there's definitely a part of me that does. I am a people pleaser.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, recovering people pleaser.
Oh,
you're not.
No, not even a little bit.
Which I'm so going to talk
like,
about that.
Literally
like,
not even a little bit.
Have you always been like that?
Yeah, never cared.
Ever?
No, not even a little bit.
It's such a flex, even like in
not even a little bit. Yeah, I could tell that you are. in a good way though.
And then even with my work, with
like I could see you
PR,
literally holding 50 things in your hand. I'm like, oh, can you grab this for me? And you're like, sure.
Yeah.
Like I could, do this for me. I could literally see you.
Oh my god, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Well, you're not a people pleaser, so you probably don't deal with this. How do you deal with like all your friends that want to be on your podcast?
Oh, no one wants to be.
Really?
I don't think any of my friends listen to my podcast.
Really?
Mm-mm. I don't think so. I will say, and I wanted to ask you about this too. You're in between LA and New York. And, like, obviously we'll talk about me more on your show, too. I don't want to, like, people get mad at me when I have guests on and talk about myself.
Really? I love that. I think my whole POV on this is, like, when I've had guests on and then they ask me about me, my audience ends up loving it.
Really?
So I feel like, because they love you.
It's just conversation. I just think it's conversation.
My best episodes, and we're going to talk about this on my episode with you.
Guys, this is a real podcast. So this is like part 1 and part 2.
I know, because on my episode.
We're going to finish the rest of the
on mine, I want to talk about all the things about, like, podcasting best practices as well. But I don't know what performs better for you, solos or guests, but on the ones that have really done well for me recently, it's the guests that I have the best vibe with.
Of course.
If I'm friends with someone offline and then we become friends instantly through the moment, because that's happened, they feel it and then they love it. And then when it's more conversational.
Of course. I agree with that. I've had like bigger guests on and they have no personality and I'm like, oh God, now what do I say?
Yeah.
Or like,
what are your best performing episodes?
Honestly, solo.
Yeah,
but
I feel that for you.
I've gotten bored of my own solo episodes though, so I like conversations like this. Like, I need to vibe with the person though. Like, if you were a bland person, this would be a horrible episode.
But it's like why, like, you know, Melissa Wood Health?
Yes.
It's her. Like why when she has, so Dylan's her, like, right hand. Mm-hmm. It's like Sammy and Sammy.
Right.
So that's why people like when those episodes happen. Like, like Melissa, I listen to her podcast and she'd be like, whenever Dylan's on, everyone loves it. And even me, like, I'm like, oh, I love it because she's her right hand. They're best friends. So it's like two best friends yapping, but then you're learning more about the host who you love.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like if you had like an assistant who was always with you, and then you're like, you know
I
what?
Think you show more personality when you're with someone else, which I like. Like, I feel like I'm gonna show more personality now than when I'm by myself. Like, I'm gonna make a joke to myself. Like, no, you know what I mean? So I feel like that's why it goes really well. So then I feel like I like, that's why also I'll make podcasts like lineups, like a layout.
Same, I do that too.
And then like I start talking and I'm like, oh, I like went off the list, because you just go into other conversations and you see, oh, we vibe really well talking about this, so let's just keep pushing that out.
I love that.
I want to get a little bit more just a like big sister brain from you right now. So I get so many DMs from my listeners just asking for advice on certain things. So I kind of just want to give you some scenarios that like I always get asked about and just hear like your big sister brain on it.
I love that because I love you do
diving into the DMs. Yeah, oh, that's my favorite.
It's so good.
That's my favorite. And one thing that I always get stuff about relationships,
DMs
friendships.
Are lit for you.
Oh, the DMs are honestly my favorite place to go for my podcast, for the girls only. So what I will ask you, I have a few topics at the top of my brain. I know you do hot takes on your show. I love it. This is more just like a quick advice.
Guys, go listen to her rapid fire on
your
mine.
TikToks, like the rapid fire TikToks,
we're gonna do Smash or Pass for you.
Have been everywhere. The Smash or Pass, and I try to answer. I'm like, wait, I'm not fast enough. I have to like pause.
No. You'll see the BTS of it.
Okay,
You'll
good.
be so chill.
No, I'm like loving that series. It's crushing it.
Wait,
it's been all over my TikTok and Instagram. I love it.
Wait, that's so nice.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
It works when a guest is down to banter. Like Kenny, who was just on, it did so well. Because I have so many women. So like, oh my God, is he singing? I DM'd him today. I was like, I'll boost your ego right now.
Oh my God, that is so funny.
I was like, let me boost your ego. I'm going to show you all the hot girls who are... I have so many guy friends, but then I'm also a girl's girl. Everyone tells me I need to be a matchmaker because I love connecting people, and I'm really good at it, like, for the vibes. That's why I know
I like doing
my
that
person's
too.
Coming, because of how many people I've matchmade. I'm like, God's going to bring me
he's going to reward you.
Yeah, I'm just, like, waiting.
Oh, my God, I love that. Okay, so let's get your opinion on a few things. Number one, do you like more, or do you believe in more of, like, a big friend group or, like, a small, intimate friend group?
Ooh, I think if you're the type of person who's lucky enough to have, like, the big friend group that everyone is your ride or die, like, they got you. If your car were to break down tomorrow, then amazing. Right. But I love, like, I love small intentional, but I think it's both. Because at the end of the day, it's about who really gives a shit about you. Olivia, who has your back? Are you around a group of people who like genuinely doesn't want the best for you or want you to win? So if you have that in a small group, amazing, keep them close, and then you attract what you are. You guys will just attract in more. Or if it's a big group that's like that, amazing.
Right. Is it difficult for you to match people's energy? Because you're a people pleaser too.
Yeah.
So like, is it hard for you to match someone's energy? Like, let's say you have a friend that's like kind of a shitty friend. Is it hard for you to also be shitty or to let them go, or are you still going to be yourself with them?
Oh, I think I've gotten better at this early over the years. So now I just don't tolerate it. Like if someone's bad vibes, bad energy, I will, you know what, actually, I always say like God, the universe will help you with this. It'll naturally repel those people from your life.
Yeah.
Like naturally. Like you might even, I find this a lot because I'm such a big person on faith. Sometimes I'd be finding myself people pleasing, and then something will happen where I end up having to cancel the plan last minute, or like they end up having to cancel, or, you know, I'm doing something that I didn't want to do, and then it will just like not happen. Or like I'll just stop like they'll end up going away. Like I'll pray for what I need help with.
Yeah.
Like get this person away.
Right. No, I feel like that's really normal. And do you ever feel like you're in situations where you're holding on to something that you're not letting go?
Oh yeah, I feel a lot of these things for me come up with work. Like I'm just so attached to like certain things I do, and like when I'm going through transition seasons with like wanting to shed layers, I guess it's a little bit harder. But then strengthening that like ability to get uncomfortable helps, because then you're able to do it more and in all areas of your life.
Right. What do you give advice? So when I get a lot of DMs from girls that are in relationships and they feel like they didn't have the time to grow on their own before they're in the relationship, do you feel like that should mean they should leave the relationship to work on themselves, or they should be in a relationship where they can work on themselves?
I love that. And I say there are relationships out there where, you know, the partners have met each other at 20 and then they're ride or die still together at 30, 35, 40. So I think it's about if your partner's down to grow with you. Like if there's something you want to do, or if you're feeling stagnant and feeling like they're not growing with you, then yeah, they will not probably be the best person. But if they're down to grow with you and expand with you and evolve with you, like that's such a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So I think it's about having those conversations with that person and then being honest with yourself if you are going to outgrow them, or if they're down to grow. Because at the end of the day, you can grow with someone too, and that's a beautiful experience.
I feel like it's such a tough boundary, because I saw something once where it was like in a relationship, sometimes one person's walking while the other person's running. And it's so hard to know, like, do I stay in this, or like, do I, you know what I mean?
What is your advice? I would say you need to leave.
I don't know.
If one's walking and one's running.
I think it depends. I think that everyone goes through chapters. So like, let's say like you, for example, right? You got a good head on your shoulders. You know what you're doing with your business. Like, you know your next 10 steps. Like, you're on it with your business. Let's say tomorrow you fall in love with somebody who started a brand new business from scratch and has debt and zero money, but you love them. Right now you're running and they're walking, right?
Okay,
so,
in that context,
you know what I mean? So, like, do you feel like you would struggle in a relationship like that? Or do you feel like you'd be like, no, I'm going to ride with this person until they make it?
I guess I feel like that person who's starting the business in debt could be in, like, a running energy because they're ready to go. They, like, really want to...
What if they've kind of given up?
If they've given up, then are they doing other things that are giving them life?
No, they're, like, in a dark tunnel.
Then I probably wouldn't be attracted to them.
Oh, okay.
Because, like, I also feel like as women especially, like, it's not just... For me, it's, like, such it's everything else. Like, not just the look. I feel like men... Having so many guy friends, they all tell me... Aisha, men are visual creatures. Men are all about the looks. Like, they know right away. I'm like, really? Because with women, if someone has the best personality ever, or they're very confident and magnetic, it makes them, if they're a 7, they go up to a 9.
For sure.
Instantly. But men are just, they obviously have to stay, the woman has to be smart and amazing, but, like, I'm just saying, like, instantly they're not the same.
Do you care more for a protector or a provider?
Oh.
This question always used to get me. I think I saw it, like, we met at Acme once, and it was like, do you want a protector or protector? And I was like, wait a second.
Wait, they can be the same. They can't.
No, just one or the other. If you had to, like, prioritize one over the other.
Oh my God. Wait, that's a hard...
Because there's some women that could say, I could protect myself, I want them to provide for me, or I can provide for myself, I want them to protect me. I'll tell you my answer after.
Oh my God.
Isn't that hard?
Well, I know I've always been a provider for myself, and I know like what I'm building, and I know I want to keep building. So I guess by default protector, but I want them to be both.
Right. It's hard. I always chose a protector over provider because I was like, I can always provide for myself more than protect myself. Like, I can't protect myself in the middle of the street half the time, but like, you know, in my little leopard heels, like there's no protecting. But I will also say that I'm also so torn because I'm like, I don't want to provide for myself my whole life. Are you somebody that like you see yourself working forever, or do you see a different life for yourself?
I love that. I'm the same with you. Like, I love working, and you know, some of my girlfriends in LA were like, no, trust me, people who are like us, you could not just be at home. Because I make this joke all the time with my mom. I'm like, Mom, I just need to meet my husband, and then we're like, why am I stressing so? But I just know the way I'm wired, and I'm like such a serial entrepreneur.
You'll need to be
like,
fixated on
I always
something.
want to be starting like a new business. But it would be nice to like know that my partner like has got me. So like when we want to have kids, it's like you can like
you want the choice.
Yeah,
I agree with that kind of.
But I just know the way I'm wired that I'm always gonna
I think you'll want that life, and then after a certain point you're gonna be like,
like I could see myself like Melissa Wood though, like it's like, oh, you're in this other chapter, but then the business grows even more because you're doing this whole other thing that people are a part
That's
of.
True too.
Like your journey, I can already see it. It's like as you evolve into your next chapters, your audience is only going to grow bigger and bigger, and you're only going to have more content to share that's like more aligned with like where you're at in that season and that season. So it's like the business is just going to keep evolving. Like the brand deals are going to shift. It's just so, it's like ever evolving.
Right. I agree with that too. I think it's a good to have options and have the choice as a woman. Before I close off all my interviews, I like to ask my guests for their favorite quote. What's a quote you live by? I feel like you're like a big quote girl.
I'm a big quote girl.
Me too.
I guess it's like a twofold, and I think I said it, but everything happens for you in divine timing. Everything in divine timing. And I like live by that saying, what's meant for you will not pass you. Everything happens in divine timing. I really mean that because you have to just trust that timing, and we have to do the work, right? We have to be like building ourselves up every single day and taking the bet on ourselves, putting ourselves in those situations that grow us and expand us. And if you're going through a hard time right now, to trust that it's because your biggest breakthrough's on the other side.
I love that. Yeah.
So everything happens in divine timing.
Love that. Give us some upcoming projects that you have and where people can find you and see more of you.
I love you. I'm so excited for you to come on.
I know. I'm so excited. Guys, literally in the next like hour.
We have an hour little.
Talking again. Little intermission.
I yap so much in a day over here. The best place people can find me is at Coffee and a Good Vibe. Coffee and a Good Vibe on all podcast platforms. Check out Olivia's episode. And then at Ayesha Sehra on Instagram, TikTok, everything. And what I'm excited about, I think honestly with the Coffee and a Good Vibe brand, we're launching a new product.
Ooh.
I'm so excited. It's going to be in the coffee space.
It's
so your vibe. It's so your vibe. Because you love me a latte, right? Like, I'm going to ask you this, like, what your coffee order is. But it's going to be, like, a hazelnut vanilla latte. Ooh. But, like, with a lot of cool health benefits to it.
I love that.
For women, because I'm a coffee...
Me too.
I love coffee.
Yeah, of course.
And we do a lot of live shows and events. So we have our like big live show this fall.
I might have to come to LA for
you have to.
I might have to go into that place of hell for your show.
You have Krista too.
Yeah, that's true.
Krista
now I have two
one.
girls there. I have a few people there I know.
Maybe I feel like your community here, are they all New York?
No, I have a lot in LA, and then I have a lot in like Canada, like Florida, Australia, London. Like I'm everywhere. I think honestly London might be like my number 2.
Where's Canada in it?
I don't know. Where in Canada you mean? Yeah. I have no idea.
I love that.
I think I usually see Montreal and like Quebec are the top 2 that I usually see.
Cool.
Yeah, I've never been.
You need to go.
I know. I hear it's a pretty easy drive, actually.
Oh, Toronto's so close on flight.
That's what I heard. Yes, Toronto. All right, guys. We're going to go onto her podcast, and we have a little intermission, and then we will be on Ayesha's podcast, and I'm so excited to yap even more with her. So definitely go listen to it. It will be linked down below, and thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Amazing.